Welcome to Lead with Clarity. This is a space for leaders who want to grow without losing themselves in the process. Each episode is a short reflection on leadership, influence, and the inner work that shapes how we show up for others. It's not hype, it's not noise, just clear thinking for the journey of leading well. Today's episode is entitled Failure is Not the End, It's the Data. Here we go. There's a word that stops most people cold: failure. Say it in a boardroom and you can feel the air change. Say it in a performance review and watch someone's posture shift. We've been conditioned, most of us since childhood, to treat failure as something to survive, hide, or at a minimum, explain away as fast as possible. Here's what I've learned from years of working with executives and observing what actually separates good leaders from great ones. The relationship a leader has with failure is one of the most reliable predictors of how far they will go. John Maxwell put it simply and precisely when he said, "Failure is success in progress." 5 words, enormous weight. Let us sit with that for a minute, because it's easy to nod at and hard to actually believe. Most of us intellectually agree that failure is a teacher. We've read the books, we know the Thomas Edison stories, we've seen the TED Talks, but in real time, when a product launch misses, when a key hire doesn't work out, when a quarter falls short, the temptation is to move fast, minimize, and get as far from the moment as possible. That instinct is the enemy of growth. Here's the leadership moment I want to highlight. The fastest growing leaders I've observed do not just tolerate failure, they are systematic about it. They create space to examine it. They debrief their teams within days, not months. They ask the hard question out loud: what did we get wrong, and what does that tell us? That is a fundamentally different posture than the one most organizations model. Now, here's the common misread of Maxwell's quote, and it is worth naming directly. People hear failure is a success in progress, and they treat it as a permission slip, an excuse to rationalize poor decisions, repeat the same mistakes, and dress it up in growth language. That is not what it means. Failure is only success in progress if you actually do the work of extracting the lesson. The progress part is not automatic. It's earned. The reframe I want to offer is this. Stop asking, did we fail? Start asking, what did this failure make possible? That is a totally different question. It shifts the frame from verdict to value. And for a leadership team, that shift changes the entire culture around risk, innovation, and honesty. One of the highest leverage things you can do as a leader is model this openly. When you fail, say so. Name what you learned. Show your team that recovery is not only possible, it's expected. That creates psychological safety at a level no culture survey or off-site retreat can manufacture. Now carry this thought forward with you. The most respected leaders in any room are rarely the ones with the cleanest record. They're the ones with the most honest one. They didn't avoid hard chapters, they paid attention to them. And the question is not whether failure will find you. It will. Trust me. The question is whether you will have the discipline to mine it for what it is worth. Failure, when treated with that kind of intentionality, is not a setback, it's a setup. And that distinction changes everything about how you lead.